So today I'm going to quickly talk about what happened in Israel. In Israel, 100 Jews were killed in one night. I don't know if they're all Jews. I don't know if it was, planned by the the people that are in the shadow governments of all these countries, because that's how a lot of things are done. Um, in Islam, there was a schism about attacking people on their holy holidays, especially Abrahamic holy holidays, and that later on translated to Shiite and Sunni warfare too. Shiites had different holidays than Sunnis. And there's a line in the Quran that says that in the three holy months you shouldn't fight war. So for them to attack them in Shabbat like that, especially in a Shabbat where it's hard to explain, but they were given some kind of confidence that they can just relax, that it's a time of peace. I think it was a trick of the devil almost. It's not like the devil, but when people are connected to each other, there's a lot of things that go on unsaid between them. And I'm sad to see this happen on, it was a war, an attack in deception. And to let you know what Jewish lives are not valuable more than other lives because God said so in the Bible. To be honest, it's a worldly reality. There's fewer Jews than there are other people of similar backgrounds. That means going back to Semitic, Afro-Asiatic groups and so on that brought about religion and civilization and truth to other nations. The Jews, let's say there's 15 or 20 million, even if they doubled in the last decade and a half. Of that, 100 people being killed is a massacre. It's a big deal. And that's because they're valuable. The same way rarity, some people say, wow, a redhead with green eyes or a blonde girl with blue eyes are rarer today. People that are rare are usually more valuable. And their rarity isn't just about appearance. A lot of times, because men are shallow, they think women are valuable because of the way they look. But as far as Jews are concerned, it's their civilization, it's their culture, it's their intelligence, it's what they provide to humanity. They bring a lot to the table. So every time they're killed, it's a big deal. And a journalist was killed in Philadelphia who was a Jewish guy just yesterday, and then today this happened. Now, is it luck or is it, these are the things that people argue about when we start thinking this way. We start thinking in a different way when war begins. Now, Mr. Putin, is he in a place where he's back up against the wall, where he's like, I can't get out of this war and I can't further put my valuable troops in an effort? And then is it about his ego and pride that I'm going to lose if I just retreat and then they're going to attack us? Or is it about more than that? That if I retreat, I might get peace, but I see the writing on the wall. I see something bigger because this is the deal. Based on where you sit, sometimes there's an advantage of sitting below. Like if you're a little mouse and you're sitting under a table, you see the crumbs falling. It's a bad analogy, but I'm going to try my best. The higher you sit, the further you can see. If you're sitting at the clock tower or the watchtower, you see a lot more. And that's why people like Putin and all this, the reason they have foresight and insight is because they sit in a high place in the world. They try to estimate everything of value so that they can make the right decisions at the right moments. So there is a point of no return where a leader loses control of the war and says, now it's do or die. I might as well go in, all in, take all my allies and attack. But I don't know if this was Mr. Putin behind this or not. But for Hamas to come in and do something like this at a time like this, with the Syria Turkey thing being all there, it's hard to say. And I think it's kind of scary that this all happened so quick. I can't believe it. I was in shock this morning. And what else did I want to say? Those are the things that are going through my head right now that, how did this happen? How did it happen so fast? Why is it that Jewish lives are valuable? Not because of the old understanding that like there's some kind of God race or something, but there is something like that. They even historically, every time Jews have been massacred, there's been a big reprisal amongst other people. They start debating, they start thinking. There's a kind of a energy center there. There's a concentration of a kind of an intelligence, and the amount, they're all together most of the times, and they work together and they bring about a lot of good practices in society, and they bring, it impacts people. There's a lot of anti-Semitism too. They bring about this and that, and but anyhow, that's what I wanted to share today, that I think it's sad that this happened so fast. I hope they know what they're doing. Like, I hope they know what they're doing, but it seems like a bad plan. It seems like, when Israel takes revenge. I don't know how Hamas could think, unless they've planned a full-out war, to do something like this all of a sudden. It just, and they haven't said it isn't Hamas. Nobody said, oh, it was a Jewish conspiracy against them or something to draw them into a full destruction of Gaza, but it looks like a really bad plan right now.